Whoa, 你说你 So as I've been kind of talking about, this is the syllabus. Basically, it's got everything that you would need to contact me, to come to class, Zoom. There's your Zoom address. There's your email that you can send materials to me. And today, Tuesday, oops, is the 4th, and 2025, see, 2025. And we're going to come together at 4, and we're going to go down to about 5:30, maybe a little bit, depending on presenters, right? If you got a lot of presenters, it might be till about 5:45, something like that. But our cutoff is actually 6 o'clock. But we're going to stay between 5:30 and 6. Okay. Uh, here's our address again. And we're going to finish in April. If you look at the calendar, this is March. Go the other way. April, and not Wednesday the 30th, but Tuesday the 29th. So our last day is April 29th. I don't want to go into May. Why? Because our seniors, that's your that's your graduation time, and I don't want to. And plus, I need to give you a grade before, so it's the reason why I don't want to go into May for this class. All right. So what I'm saying, I'm warning you. I want you to get prepared. I want you to, as soon as you get the assignment, start working on it and present it within a week. You don't want to bunch up. You don't want to go to on April 29th and say, can I present my the 5 or the 4 or the 3 things on the PowerPoint? Well, yeah, yes, you can. We'll do it, but we only got this much time, and so time is going to be a factor. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next idea. My office is in Blanding. If you want to text me between 8 and 4. Okay, 8 and 4. And let's see. Uh, we're on Zoom, so there's my address again. We're covering. This is how much credit hour you're going to receive. 5.5. It's not as long as Navajo one, but at least half the time will be half. We call it seat time. Half the time, you'll get half of the credit. We have really no prerequisite. I mean, if you know something about Navajo government from 5th grade or something, that's great. But we don't have another course that says you do this first before you do this class. Okay. There's not a Navajo government's 1, Navajo government's 2, Navajo government's 3, maybe at the college level, but not in our situation. So let's go keep going. I talked a little bit about that already. And let's go to the next one. Go to the next one. All right, where to go? Let's go to this one. There it is, right there. Oh, uh, this won't be the recording that we're doing right here will be put right here. Okay, it'll be a YouTube thing that will be right here. But this was last year, so this is not going to be the one that you can listen to. All right, so let's start with this idea here, and let's go back here. So this everything we're going to call Shabbat Echo. We're going to learn about Shabbat Echo. And we'll shorten it to Shabbat Echo, right? And today's the 4th. And so the reason I'm putting this up here is you're going to be going to this to understand what it is that you're going to be doing. Okay. So there's activity 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're calling this day one, day one. The day one, number one, day 1, 2, day 1, 3, day 1, 4. So right here, this is number one. And I think I'll go ahead and implement, or not implement, what do you call it? Start. View slides. Okay, so now you can see, right, a little bit better. So Navajo origin story. So here it is. Today we have a Navajo government. And of course, tomorrow we'll have another one. But this is with the United States government. They oversee our government, Navajo Nation government. This is United States government. So we're not completely by ourselves. Through history, the United States kind of oversee us. And the United States is a sovereign nation, meaning they run their own show. They run their own election, they run their own everything. Navajo, yeah, they run their own show, but only based on the United States government. So we're not completely sovereign. You're not there 100% through just driving your own government, how to use money or all that stuff. We follow the United States. And that concept came around when our people were rounded up at Welte, okay? And they were driven to Welte. So we'll learn all about that. Before the United States government was up there, we had another government. We'll put them upside down here. These guys were called Spanish people, okay? And they weren't really over us, but we kind of lived side by side. And every once in a while, we would trade or sometimes war with each other. But before the Spanish came, we were on our own. And we had our own government. We had our own everything. We'll learn a little bit more about that. And this is it right here. Now, this first square, the first square, there's video clips you need to look at, listen to. Okay, listen to. I'll show what it is. So I will listen and answer questions on the Navajo origin story. Let's listen for a moment, just so now you know how.
If you're still driving around for Uber or DoorDash to make ends meet, watch this video. There's a little known trend gaining tons of attention right now called Audible Up.
And that's that black world. This is the second world. It's the blue world. And then the third world is the yellow world. And then over here is the fourth world. So net hotish, net hodotish, net hadso, net hadle. So we're over here, we can come back over here through this being echo hanegi using that content. So we're going back into an ancient time before that. Okay, let's say that you also is right here. We can walk here and say human beings begin to exist.
So that's a professor over at the Net College over here by Saley College. Saline, Arizona. And his name is Avery Denny. And Avery is one, he's a medicine man. Two, he teaches origin stories, all kinds of cultural stuff at the Neck College. If you want to go and do a semester over at the Neck College and take all the cultural stuff, you can get 4 or 5 courses of that, okay? But this is his video clips from his presentations. So there's a part 1 all the way to part 5, actually more than that. But the thing I wanted to show you is, as you listen, I want you to click on this right here. Questions. All right. So on the questions, you'll send this to me when you're done with this, okay? So what you do with this, do not use this right off. Make a copy, okay? And how do you make a copy? The way to make a copy is, and I'm thinking right here, file, make a copy, all right? Once you make this copy, then it becomes yours. You don't do anything on here. But when you make a copy, put your name on it. What am I talking about? Let me do this. I make a copy. I put my name here. To call it creation story, Johnny Yazzie, and then make a copy. Okay? That's how I know who it is. Put your name on here. And you're answering questions, is basically what you're doing through the video clips. You listen to the video clip, and then you answer questions. Now, you can go ahead and just look at it right off. You don't have to, you don't have to go through. So here's that one that we just barely watched, called part 1. But anyway, what you do is you make this Google Doc copy and answer the questions as you listen. So you're learning and then pulling stuff out of the video clip and then answering the question with that video clip. Put your name here, and I would see it says part 2 right here. First of all, read the questions before you listen, okay? As you listen. So let's take the first question. What is Nehuatl or Nehuatl? What is that? Just tell me, based on the video clip, what is it? And all you do is just type your answer right there. You don't have to know Navajo. You don't have to, but just do it all in English. Just say, oh, no, that's the first world. That's what he said. No, the kid is the first world. I know. And just put your answer there. And then keep going. What world is this present world? What is it called? And do your best in your Navajo spelling. Or what do you know about $8,000, or you already know. What do you think this means? So Avery's going to say, you already know something. You already know. What does that mean? I just want you to tell me. You already know. What does that mean? So this is open-ended. This is not, I mean, you'll get answers from him, but just tell me in your own words, what is he saying about that? Or, how do we know all things already? Okay, answer these 2 questions. And you can give an example, give an example. And then you're done. You get your name up here. You get it says creation story on there. So this is yours. nobody can write on it or anything. Okay. And then you go to part 2. Now, I want you to go as quickly as possible. Okay. I want you to, if you can do it within a week, that'd be great. Because you got an assignment based on this. So the faster you do it, maybe you do this part 1 and 2 tomorrow, maybe part 3 and 4 Thursday, and you finish that one. Part 5, and you finish. There is a part 6, but it goes beyond creation story. So I'm just going to stop at part 5. All right. And the question there is, what insect lived and went into the ground and never came back up until the 4th world? So now you can answer that. You can make answers right here. So those are what some of the things you can. All I'm doing is asking you questions so that you know there's something in this video clip. Okay, gives you ideas, right? Give you ideas because you're gonna do something with these ideas. There's really no tests except for just turning in this form. You're gonna send it to Mr. Long right here. ClaytonNaz@gmail.com. You're gonna send it to me when you're done. So when you're done, so you'll have this already on with you all the time, but you also send a copy to me. And you'll refer to this, and then you'll it's because you're going to take this knowledge and you're going to do something with it. All right, so let's kind of back out to back here. So that's the first activity. Okay, you got. I would try to finish it within 2 or 3 days. The next day 1 activity. This is called, objective. I will listen and answer the questions on the worksheet, this sheet right here, and email it to Mr. Long. That's what I'm going to do. Copy it, email it to Mr. Long. I will listen and participate in the slide presentation by Mr. Long. So I have my own version of, the beginning. So we'll go through my slides, and there's no questions on that one. It's only knowledge. It's only I'm going to do something with this knowledge. There's going to be an assignment based on what Mr. Long is saying. Okay. I will help create PowerPoint or slides. That's the activity. That's the job. That's the creation that you're going to do. Okay. Zakis, not ina. This is the pattern. When we follow the Shabak echo, you're saying ideas, video clips are being shown to me. So I got knowledge. The south side, now nahat. I have to do a presentation. So I'm going to create a slideshow. Yeah. So I will help. Well, if you're in a group, there'll be 2 or 3 of you that will work on, but a lot of them you're going to be separate. So a lot of you guys are going to be by yourself doing it on your own. Okay. Unless you get together with somebody that's going to the same school and you want to get together after school, that's fine. But you might not have that much time, right? You might not have that much free time to do this. So you might have to just say, I'm just going to do it on my own. All right. The Navajo origin story interview. So yeah, we learn about, the first world, second world, third world, fourth world. And that's Shabbat. Well, once we learn that, what are we going to do? we're going to be interviewing somebody from maybe it's the first world, maybe it's the second world, maybe it's the third world, maybe it's the fourth. There's always going to be characters in these worlds. And one of them you're going to be kind of like, I like this guy. I like what he's being talked about here. And so you choose that and you interview that person. For example, it might be Talking God. Yeah, Talking God. He's called HTLT. What if I'm the interviewer, I'm this is gonna be put on the 6 o'clock news and I'm the reporter. I'm the guy that's gonna interview HTLT. Whoa. I don't know very much about HTLT, but I like him. I like that he was way down in the first world and he helped create the world. And I'm going to ask him questions. Now, here's the tricky part. I ask him a question. I said to you, how did you create the insects? And then on the other side, you're also going to be answering. That's where the creation starts. Well, I thought about how insects can help us in this world, second world, third world, fourth world. So I thought insects would be good for us because they're going to help make the world better. And as an interview, I might say, okay, Hashishki, how can an insect make the world better? You might, that's him. Thank you for asking me that question. Let me tell you my answer. Insects in this world keep our grass down. Well, first thing, today we keep our grass down with a mower, right? But these guys keep the grass down on their own without being a mower. So you think of answers that Hashekti might say has good reason. All right. So this is where you have certain knowledge, but you create something with that knowledge. So you're going to have a conversation with Hashekti. I mean, this is one example, right? You could do another bird, bluebird. You can do all these other things that are created in the different worlds. You just have to do one. And you think in terms of, I want to interview this one. And I will share this on a PowerPoint. And it will be down. It will be over here in the 6 o'clock news. All right, that kind of idea. All right, so the Navajo origin story interview. And you can do that with a team, you can do it by yourself. But that's the beginning of the idea. I will help present something. Once you create it, I will help present my team's PowerPoint on the Navajo origins interview. Okay, so if you're by yourself, create it. Just do maybe four slides or 5 slides. Don't make it 10, 20, 30. Just think in terms of simple. Maybe 4 slides, 5 slides. And there's many different ways to make a slide. You can draw it, take a picture, and then put it onto the slide. Or you can go out into nature and take a picture of those insects. Here's this, here's this. And I interviewed 3 insects or something like that in the first world. Anyway, you create Now, I know, and I know we only have a small time. So you might say, okay, in a week, I have to go through these video clips. I have to find a character that I'm going to interview and do a PowerPoint. I'm going to finish by Saturday and practice the presentation. So that on Tuesday, I'm going to email Mr. Long and say, Mr. Long, I have a PowerPoint. I'm ready. I can do my interview presentation and put me on for Tuesday. I'll present on Tuesday. So basically, this assignment should take you 1 week, and go ahead and do it. You as a team of newsman lady, news lady, you are interviewing, telling what is happening. Why are you moving to the next world or finally reaching the fourth? Talk about some things that you're asking them about. And don't spend tons of time on it, okay? Just do 4 slides. That's it. That's it. 4 is a sacred number. And then today, just sent me an email today, Mr. Long talked about this and this and this. And just sent me an email. This would be like your extra credit, right? Do a quick write-up and email to me. And be checking off all your write-ups. Okay. So email at the end. That's kind of like the east is called Sakis thinking. South is called Naka planning. And west is called Ina. That's creation and implementation, and all of a sudden there's a PowerPoint. The north, Sesam. That's the winding down. That's the time where you just email me and say, Mr. Long, I love what I did. I love what we talked about today. I want to do the video clips. I want to create interview a character from could be the first world, second world, third world. Anyway, these. And then I'll tell you something about the creation story here. But all these together. Now, you can go on your own. You can go find a book. You can go on YouTube or websites. You can learn about first world, second world, third world. Okay? That's fine. That's the more you know, the better your interview, basically. All right. So right now, if for some reason you want to ask me a question, go to the chat. And in the chat, oh, you can't see me. Oh, sorry about that. All right. What makes it so let me just turn up my volume over here. All right. Can you hear me now? Huh. I am showing my screen. Google, I don't have the Google slide link. Oh, they're right here. Slide link. I mean, the video clips are right here. Let's see. Another question is write-ups mandatory towards our grade? The answer to the question, if you send it to me, it's kind of like a extra credit. Something you said about today's presentation between now and in 30 minutes, you can do a write-up and send that to me. So these are extra credit, extra credit. So you got two things you can do for extra credit. One is start answering these questions. Oh, is this what you're talking about? This right here? If that doesn't work, make sure you email me, okay? And that way I can help you. Okay, always use your email, text me something. Okay, even though you're doing it here. All right. Presentation. Like I said, there's 4 or 5 slides you want to do. Present it. Nobody's going to ask you a question. You're just going to do presenting. Later we will. I mean, maybe on the 5th, 4th, and 5th slides that you do, maybe beginning of April. At that time, we're going to be asking you questions. You have to defend some things that you created. All right. But right now, you're just presenting, and I'll just check you off. So present it. Okay. And the way we'll do it is, anyway, if you got more questions, write it down in the chat. I'll just put this over here next to this other group. Anyway, right here. So, let's say next Tuesday, I have 10 of you that want to do a presentation. Well, right here. Oops. Let me do this right here. So that we'll stay on here. We'll use this too. So there'll be one and name, you know. One second. One, okay. One. Hey, like 20. Anyway, name and another one. Whoever comes first we'll put their name on here. So we'll line them up. Okay, we'll line them up. Tuesday, you'll see people's name on here. This is my way of knowing that you did a presentation. And don't make it 10 minutes. Just work between 4 minutes the most, 5 minutes at the most. Okay. It's not a long, just 4 slides, and you're going to talk about these slides, and that's it. Okay. Good question. If you got other questions, put it in there so I can answer them. All right. So here's another question. What are the requirements? The requirements are 4 or 5 slides. You're choosing an interview, so you might say, I'm going to interview Bluebird. Okay, Bluebird, we got to know you in the second world. Why do they call you Bluebird? Oh, Bluebird. Bluebird is the first bird that wakes you up in the morning. I'm kind of like your alarm clock, you know. So whatever story you hear from me about Bluebird, that's probably what you're going to use to ask questions. All right. So that's cool. So question and answer is what I'm looking for in the presentation. And don't do 20 questions and answer. Just do between 4 and 5. Okay. Don't make it long. It's just the experience is what I'm thinking about. All right. And let me see what other questions you have. Oh, not yet. Syllabus I'm going to be sending to you pretty soon. Okay. Do you have any examples? Good question. Do you have an example slide? Ooh, Do I have a lap silence? All right, here we go. No, we gotta go back over here. And we gotta go to these guys right here. Drive. And we go to home. And we go to slides. These are examples. So and let's go interviews. Let's go interview. Right here. So I'm just using slides. This is from Google. And let's see. Examples are good. This person. So you can go to a page. I'll show you in a minute. Get all these pictures. What is happening with the new situation you and the rest are experiencing? We're moving to the next world, one that is newer and better than the world before. We making new things, exploring a new environment, being introduced by living things that already inhabited the new world before us as an insect beings in the first world. Air as the leader in the second world, people in the third world, plants, amphibians, reptiles in the fourth world. Interviewer, what is neat? So what do you think about the new event that is happening? Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's it. This person just said, put everything on 3. So you put pictures on here, you can put your questions, your answers. Let's look at another one. Okay, let's see. Let's go this one. Exit the slide. And oops, let's see if I can get out of this. Step. Let's go. All right, let's go back to some more slides. I'll give you a couple more examples here. There we go. Type the slides. And then interviews. So let's go to view slides. Interview. Aha, first world interview. What happened in the first world? interviewee. But you don't have to say interviewer, interviewee. You can say coyote. Put coyote here and say, what happened in the first world? Interviewee, or this is you. And then the interviewee is the coyote or something, somebody. This is where the first man and woman were created. It's called the first world. What happened in the first world? It burned with flames. We know it had to do with fire. It was destroyed by fire. So this person said it burned in flames. And next slide. Second world. So this person is actually going to go through the first world, second world, third world, and asking questions. What happened after the first world burned? First man, first woman, the bugs from the first world moved to the second world. What was new? This is the second world. What was new? The interviewee, new planets, new animals were there, new types of creatures. Third world. What happened in the third world? A boy stole from a sea monster and flooded the third world. The flood led man and woman went to the fourth world. So there's a picture. What world are we in now? We are in the fourth world. We are here to learn and to work together and grow. All right, so that's what that is. All righty. Now that you kind of got a taste, folks have done it. Now it's my turn. All right. I call it creation story. DNA story. So this is where you might want to take a few notes so you can remember. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to talk about that one. Now, one of the things about our people is they when they say people, when they say they truly mean that everything lives. All right. So hajine bahane. All right. This is the black world. Everything was black. Everything was black. I should have done that. I should have made everything black. But to see things, there were creation. The first creation was there were lights, real faint light. Over in the east, kind of like white light. Over in the south, there's kind of a bluish light. But really you can't really see it, only barely, only something, in the dark you can probably see better. Over in the west was kind of yellowish color lights. And then over here is kind of grayish color. When this cloud, the black one and the white one came together, a creation of first man occurred. When the blue light and the yellow light came together, first woman was created. So first man and first woman were created in the black world. And they were like holy beings. They're kind of part of the holy beings. Because there's 4 holy beings that were recognized. In the east was the talking God, Hashilti. He kind of ruled over here, but was part of the circle. Over here was Hashewan. He's called the calling God. And this one I always forget, but he was another holy being, Idahochi. Idahochi is a very wise, very intelligent person. And then there was this guy right here. Jean. Jean is black God. He's one of those characters that disturb. I mean, when you're talking, he might say something that he's either against or something that's not that's off, a little off. Well, there are other creations. There was the fire. Of course, that fire is just the black worlds where light is shown, where fire is there. Some moisture, a whole bunch. Beginnings of like first man, first woman, there were kind of beginnings of like tangible things. A poker, meaning the fire poker. So these were like tools or things that were there. And there means holy people, water, con. Knit means that ground. That's how we're made. Physical things are being made slowly, not off like we see in the fourth world. Gish, that's the fire poker. These are, and they say that these are more spiritual. They're not really formed with physical, but it's more like spirits, the spirits of these items. First man was more like a spirit, first woman too. So they don't have bodies yet. Right in the middle, there's fire, but it's also the creator. They call it Nitsnitnayana. Nitsnitnayana means the one that grew up in the center. Nitsnitnayana was the one that became the creator of all things, spiritual or just intelligence. Okay. These are creations going on. So here's the name, Ya'ashnitnayana. He's the creator. There was Wineshchidi right there. Now, Wineshchidi is a kind of an interesting person. He predicted that he would be involved in the creation, not just the creation, but I will be in the first world, second world, third world, fourth world. And I will lead the people to the fourth world. And everybody's going, that's the only world that we know of. What are you talking about the fourth world? I don't understand. Well, he says, that's my calling. I just know, So Wineshchidi, I don't know if you know very much about Wineshchidi, but they're locusts. They make a sound. And our Navajo people, they ate them. And those are creatures that provided food for the Navajo people. And Wineshchidi was one that you can actually physically visit. You can see what he does when he comes out of the ground, and then he gets wings, and then he flies around. Wineshchidi. And so he's like repeating, when he's born, he's like repeating what he's been called to do in the fourth world. All right. So it's kind of like a leader leading out in certain things. And yeah, so it says king was there. It says Sam, first man, first woman. First woman was created by blue and yellow light. And that's right. That's why the yellow corn that Navajos grow, it represents women. And the white corn, which is coming from the white light, the white corn represents the man. So today, when the traditional people go outside to say a prayer, they take grounded up. If you're a man, you take grounded up white corn. If you're a woman, you take grounded up yellow corn, and you offer that, and as you say in your prayers. Okay, that's so. This tradition started way, way, way fourth world. Right? I mean, even though it's not physical, it was ideas that were floating around. Yeah. And most of the time it wasn't people. It was first man was there, first woman was there. Most of the time it was the insects that were there. Willachi, Willajina, Willatsui. All those are different ant colors. And wasps, spiders, and pretty much any insects that you can think about were created first. And the interesting thing about all this is, to Navajo, they have these insects have minds. They can talk. Even before man and woman, first man and woman, even before then, these guys were like the rulers. They talked and learned how to talk. It is said that this yellow right here represents the fire. So Eshjin got in an argument with someone of the other gods. And he decided to destroy the first world. He did. And if you want a copy of this presentation, this kind of talks a little bit more about what the first world is all about. You're welcome to just send me a text or email, and I can give you this so you can read this part right here. Second world. So the first world was destroyed by fire. And somehow, some way, people made it to the second world, which was kind of like up in the sky. And they went into a place called the blue world. The reason why it's called blue is because the sky was blue. There were animals that weren't seen blue before. Before it was just coyote was in the first world. Other animals were in the first world, but insects were in the first world. But second world, we got bluebird, we got bluish color, different, all kinds of blue animals. Not animals, but also birds, mostly birds. Anyway, bluebird. Some of you might already know about bluebird. I mean, it's not that flower they call bluebird. No, it's the bird itself. Dolly, they call it Dolly. Dolly always comes early in the morning and makes sounds. And in the song it says, Doche, it's kind of like saying, get up. The sun is going there. You should be up and around. That's why I'm here, to wake you up, get going. Yeah. Ana, opa, yay, yay, yay. Ana, opa, yay, yay, yay. So that's how this tune goes. You can go to YouTube and you can say Bluebird Song in Navajo and you can hear him sing. Yeah. So he's a singer, kind of like an entertainer, right? Whoa, it'd be wonderful to interview her or him. Say, Bluebird, how did you create that song called Wake Up Song? I mean, was it because everybody was always sleepy? Well, tell me what made you want to sing early in the morning? So you could interview Bluebird Yeah, you can interview Coyote. Coyote, were you in that first world? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't have a body. I mean, I was just a spirit. We're still spirits. We don't have bodies yet. Uh, oh yeah, I knew the holy people. There was Hashelki, Hashelwan, Bidahochi, and Hasheshin. Yeah, yeah, I got in an argument with Hasheshi. Yeah, so you could interview any of these guys. Anyway, the second world was going really well. The bloopers were already here, so when the people came to the second world, um, they basically said, "We have rules here. If you follow the rules here, you'll have a good place to live. But if you break these rules, you're going to be destroying things here." As time went on, this world was destroyed also because argument again. But what is it that destroyed this second world? The air. World, the air. The thing about the air is it's also a person. Remember fire, right? Remember the first world fire? That's also a person. To a Navajo, fire made us. Air is also, we have to breathe air. So that's alive. So that's a person. So we could interview air. Air, what's so important about you? Well, I make everybody live. If you don't have, if you don't have me, you can't live. You need air to live. And I'm the one that destroyed that second world because of arguments. And the second world, there's a difference between Nietzsche and Nietzsche. So when it gets big, it's like a hurricane. It could happen in the water, on the land, anywhere. Big storms. Well, that's how the second world was destroyed. Okay. And if you want to learn more about it, you can read this and you can get ideas, right? Get ideas. All right. Third world. Woo, finally. I got a physical body. Everybody gets physical bodies. Everybody is happy. And here we have trees, we have mountains, right? And these mountains were actually brought from the first world, second world, onto the third world. And these mountains were places, boundaries. These mountains had stories. These mountains had a way of protecting you. And all these different animals. This is the first time leadership came about. Leadership. All the animals, all the bugs, all the birds, they all said, well, look at, we have a population explosion. We need to know how to care for one another. What can we do to have leadership? And so they all said, we should choose somebody. Okay. Who? And then there'll be a big discussion, and then Bear says, I'll be your leader. Shit. You know why? I'm stronger than all of you. I'm the strongest. I can protect you. I want to be a leader so I can protect you from danger. Well, he's very convincing. So he became the leader. And he went for a while, he was a pretty good leader. I protected the people, and all of a sudden he got mean. He'd tell people, "You're not doing this. Why are you doing that? You shouldn't do that. If you do, I'm going to do this." So he was kind of, instead of protecting some people, he was kind of like getting on them, even hurting them. And the people got back. The people, when I say people, I'm not talking about human beings. I'm talking about animals. That's where leadership basically came from. And so the leader said, the animal says, "We need to choose a new leader. Uh, let's do." So everybody voted. Everybody wanted, and the person that was running was Mountain Lion. Mountain Lion says, "I am faster than anybody here in this place. I can outrun you. I can do things fast. If you want something done, you come to me. I'll make it happen." That's Mountain. Oh, you can interview Mountain Lion. Tell them, well, I've become a great runner. Anyway, Mountain Lion became the leader. And he was fast. He get things done. People were happy. But after a while, he became lazy. Kind of like some of the cats that you have. The cats is basically are like little teddy bears or something. Anyway, Mountain Lion just lied under the tree, relaxing and bathing in the sun, and everybody kept thinking, he's just turned out to be a lazy person. He doesn't do nothing anymore. He just lies around. And so they accused him of being lazy. And so they said, we need a new leader. So after a while, right, this is the creation of leadership. After a while, there were two people that came forward, Bobcat and Snake, right here. Yeah, there's this Snake and Bobcat. They became neck to neck. Like, I want to be a leader. And the other one says, I want to be a leader. And both of them were neck to neck and telling people, this is how I'm going to help you. Interesting thing about these two was they start arguing. And Snake bit Bobcat, kind of beat him up. And the snake was just about to kill Bobcat. And the people says, they're not leaders. Let's break them apart. So they pulled them apart. He says, why are you guys fighting? You shouldn't fight. And Ish, which is the snake, they told him, you bit, Bobcat. And he almost died. So at that time, the snake had a lot of legs, kind of like a centipede. And the people said, we're going to take your legs from you. And from this day forward, you're going to crawl all your life, crawl around. So you won't hurt people anymore. And then he also, they said, we'll take the sting away from you. So remember when they bite you, they put poison into you. So we're going to take that away, the sting. And they say we're going to give it to the bobcat or the cat people, the cats, even today's cats. So I don't know how many of you have cats at your home, but I want you to look at the cat tonight, this evening. Look at your cat. I want you to look at the top of their head, right next to the eyes, just right on top of their head. Tell me what shape there is, a design. If the design is like a diamond, that's a representation of the snake. What was taken from the snake is given to the bobcat or the cat. And then there would be a line, a streak all the way down its back. And they say the tail acts like a snake, especially when the cat is kind of hunting. The tail goes up and it's like the snake is moving. All right. And I don't know how many of you ever had a cat kind of got mean at you, and they get their paws and scratch you. There's a sting that's involved, wow, ooh, there's stings. They say that claw and the grab and it stings. That's the sting of the leash or the snake. So the people really said, there are other people that became leaders, but in the end, people got together and said, you know what? We should go to the holy people. They're the ones that created everything, all the way from first world, second world, even today. They're still with us. We should go and visit with them. We should find out what kind of a leader should we choose? And that's how we'll follow everything. And so when they went to the holy people, Hashewan, Hasheshti, Hash, other holy beings, they all got together and said, yeah, let's tell you how to choose a leader. He said, they ought to know about the creation story. They ought to know about different things around them. They ought to know about the four mountains and why they're so special. What makes it so they're protectors? What makes it so that they're strengths to us? Well, there's stories about clans, four clans, first clans. Well, they should know that. Leaders should know that. Leaders should know the names of sacred things like sacred stones, sacred songs, sacred prayers. And leaders should be protectors using these powers from the mountains, herbs and things like that, healers and storytellers, and ones that love to be help to others. That's a leader. If you can find people that know about their language, their culture, their song, their prayers, put them in, for they will stand and help you in a very beautiful way. So that's how, from the animals to the people, how we should choose leaders today. I don't know if you've heard the different things. You can go on YouTube probably, and you can actually hear people talk about, every election day, President of the Navajo Nation Day, they should demonstrate some of these cultural things. For example, they should know how to be a fluent speaker of the language. And I don't know if you know President Blue Nigrin. Every Thursday, he has a podcast. And every Thursday, he reviews what he did the week before. And every Thursday, you'll hear Navajo from our Navajo president. All in Navajo, no Lagana. Well, there's some Navajo or English words, but mostly in Navajo. And for our older people, that's treasure. Our leaders are still examples in speaking the language. All right. So isn't that cool? So those are things that are. So now we have what you call water here, representation of water. There were coyote and the water monster story. There was a game called Tzadich. It was based on the four directions. We still play it today. Tzadich has four directions where the waters crisscross, and there's a stone sitting in the middle. And when you throw these little sticks that have white and black on one side, white, one side black, and when you throw it, if it's all black, you can move up 10. It's like a game board here. Or if it's all white, you can move five times. There's little sticks. And if it's a mixed color, then you only get 2 or something. Can't remember, it's been a while. But the coyote wanted to learn how to play this game, so he kept saying, shisha, shisha. And everybody kept saying, no. This is a sacred game. You shouldn't be part of it. No, I want to learn. Of course, over time, he was asked, come on in. And he started playing. He loved the game. It's a stick game. He became a very expert in it, to the point where he won anybody and everybody that came. He could win them over. Of course, that's why we call him a trickster, because he always had something up his sleeve. Anyway, he would always win. And over in Hopi, see, in the third world, that's when we met the Anasazi, other groups of people, and all the pueblos. Anyway, the Hopi also played the stick game, and over there, the winner was always water monster. And so the two different groups of people said, let's bring the coyote and let's bring the water monster together. And they all agreed. And coyote and water monster started playing. Since they were expert, they kind of knew about each other's tricks. And in the end, coyote won. And it wasn't just the game that they won. They put things in the middle, and that's how they win each other's things. And coyote won by taking things from water monster. The last thing that water monster said is, I have nothing left. And coyote says, well, how about your coat? Oh, no, this is mine. I don't want to give it away. Coyote convinced him and said, well, you might win. You might win something else too. Well, eventually, water monster. See, I'm mentioning all these people, right? This is it. You're in you're in the third world. You could interview any of these people. Anyway, you could interview water monster if you wanted to, or even coyote. So what was that game like when you played water monster? How did you win? Tell me some of your tricks, Well, coyote won. He won the real fancy coat that water monster had. Water monster says, you won fair and square. You go. I don't have anything else to play or to do. And so coyote took the coat. He's really proud and walking with the coat, and he put his hand in one pocket and another pocket. In one hand, and when he stuck another hand into another pocket, he felt something in the pocket. And he took out the things. There were 2 water monster babies. And these water monster babies were just cute, you know. Wow. And he quickly put it back in the pocket. I won the coat, and anything else is in the coat, you know. So he took off. Well, as soon as he was gone, he began to, water monster started looking for the little water monster baby. Couldn't find him. Asked everybody. Nobody's seen him. And then he started getting mean about, if you don't find my babies, I'm going to destroy this world. And I'm going to destroy it by rain or water. And so they couldn't find the water monster babies. And so this world was destroyed by water. Again, you could interview the water because that's the person. And today, if I raise a hand, how many of you can go without water? Scientists say we're made out of water, mostly. Anyway, the water start going up. And if you see these trees, you know, they try different trees. People say, let's grow the trees and so it can go reach to the heaven. None of the trees ever made it to the sky. Except for one, Look-ah. Look-ah, a tree that's called Look-ah. It's like a vine tree. It goes all the way up. And if you've ever seen them, a Look-ah, you go to places where there's rivers or something, we can see them. And they're the ones that have these little cottontail, I guess they're called cottontail, English. Anyway, that tree grew way up in the sky and it was hollow. It was this tree you could actually climb. And people went to the 4th world into this Look-ah all the way up. And there's a story about the turkey, Grandma Turkey. Grandma Turkey, she likes to collect these little seeds and grow them. In the 3rd world, she grew a lot of different kinds of, not just edible things, plants, but she also was kind of like a healer. So she knew what plants you could use for healing. Anyway, when the water came and everybody was going into this tube or Look-ah, Grandma Turkey was just the last one. She kept saying, oh, I gotta collect some more, I gotta collect some more. And somebody came up and said, Grandma, and she goes, you know, she kept getting things together. She finally decided, okay, I'm ready. So she goes, and the water came right up to the feathers. Today, if you look at a turkey, the feathers at the end are colored white. It is said that the foam from the water touched turkey, Grandma Turkey. And that's how we can see the colors of the foam. Anyway, we could interview Grandma Turkey. 什么声？Even yeah, kid and they look up behind you. Why were you the last one to go into this tree to the 4th world? Well, she might come back and say, I knew that nobody took any food. And I also know that there's seeds that we can plant in the 4th world. And who can help us with that? I know I can grow things. And so I needed these. So she's the one that pretty much helped the folks in the 4th world survive. All right. Anyway, I'll tell you stories, but I think our time is getting close to 6 o'clock. Let me go to the next. Well, see, many animals were leaders. That's why I talked about that. 4 directions were created. Mayan Teho. Oh, Tehotzori is his name, the water monster. Tehotzori. And let me just tell you what happened. Coyote went up through the look up, got to the fourth world, and he was still had the coat. And somebody found out that the two water monsters were it was Coyote that had him. And so Coyote says, oh no, she tried to hide him, but but they found out. And they told him, Coyote, this is the reason why the third was destroyed. This is the reason why you need to take it back to the third world. Let him go, let him go. Because the waters are already gushing up in the fourth world. You need to let these little monsters go back in. So that's what he did. He took them through the water monster baby ones back into the water, back to the third world. That's how the water settled down and we're able to avoid more water in the fourth world. All right, so that's the story. All right, so let's go to the next one. Oh, Taji and Laka, I told you about. And that's the fourth world, or third. Where is the other one? Oh, here we go. That's just identifying the different directions. That's the story about the bear. I was a leader but became angry. That's the next leader. He was lazy. Nick Bobcat and Kish. They were equal, but they almost killed one another. Today's story, look at that black thing and the tail. Look at that little design on the head. That's the head of the Kish. And so that's the story. All right. On to the other world. Fourth world. And that's today's world. Some people look what happened. There's the first world, black world, blue world. You can when you get these slides, you can look at these different places. Was the third world. Fourth world is the white world. And they say, some Navajos say there's also a fifth world. And that's where I get the concept of Shabik Ekwe Shot. Alelek Ekwe Shot. We become like holy beings. And maybe that's how we're able to go into that fifth world. But it'd be interesting to listen to more stories. All right, let me see what your questions are. This part you don't need to, but I'll give you this part too. That was my story when I was doing a big presentation to the community. So I can talk about that too. But you don't need to do that. Just first world, second world. Okay. All right, let me see the questions. If you want to have a good singing voice, my mother used to say to put corn pollen on your Weneshchiri. Beautiful story. And eat it. Wow. I want to have a beautiful voice. Okay, I'm going to Weneshchiri hunting. And I want to put a Tadadine on there and I'm going to have Weneshchiri. Someday I want to sing for my grandchildren and great grandchildren. Anyway, a lot of our medicine men used to do this so that they can understand singing all night, withstand singing all night for ceremonies. Have you heard this? I don't know about winishing, but I didn't know about how it could improve your singing. That is cool. I don't know if you see them. Eileen, you probably want to eat it when it's chini first. Why did the water listen to the coyote? When destroying the third world. All right, so that's when he sent the water monster baby back into the water. That's how the water settled. can we interview several like different interview every slide? Yeah, good question. As long as you don't go 10 minutes long, okay? You can say, I want to interview Khashoggi in the first world. I want to interview Bluebird in the second world. I want to interview Coyote in the third world. I want to interview Turkey in the fourth world. Yeah, but don't you only did 4 pictures and just quickly, like for me, I gotta shorten my story because it's taking more than what 10, 30, almost 15 minutes now. But your story is not gonna be that long. Just shorten it. Okay. Good job. Good question. All right. I think that's about all the questions there. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, we are in the fourth world. Yeah, Shikado. Use my thumb. Yeah, Shabakado. Yeah. Yes. All right. Let me go back to our other stuff. Hey, that's how you do it, huh? Anyway, um, yeah, here's that example one. And let me go this. Oops. Oh no, it's over here. Yeah, I'll set. Let me show you what I have. This is what I have. All right. I forgot to ask you for email. So I had to hunt and find your email. So that's how I was able to send out information to about altogether about 74 people. Anyway, we'll go ahead and shut down the presentation.